Shore Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, where are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? Horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night prime time. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll have the speedy Tyrod Taylor calling the shots, the former Virginia Tech Hokie.
One of the classiest quarterbacks in the NFL, and always in a difficult position because he has the skills to be a starter, but there's usually a youngster behind him that they're grooming and they're running on the field. But when given an opportunity to be the guy, he's led teams to the playoffs, and he's also got to the Pro Bowl. A great combination of arm and legs, not to mention a brilliant mind.
Now Taylor. It's caught. Mitchell. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Taylor. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Play action, it's Taylor. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hall. So he'll get 8 out of that completion. And it'll be 2nd and a couple. Taylor. And they're nearly an interception here on its opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Now it's Taylor. Well, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The Folks kick is good. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. I think we can safely say they came out to be aggressive on the opening series, Charles. They didn't run the ball once. All that passing, it does give them the 3-0 lead.
I think what we saw there, partner, was a true definition of football balance, which means doing what you want to, when you want to on offense, and in this case, it was throwing the football. They may mix in running the football a little bit more as this game goes on. His opening drive on start out, they still get home to a pass.
So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the team around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
This 2nd and 4. Now it's Rodgers. And he went nowhere. They went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Rodgers now to throw. On his first throw of the game, going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jamie Sherwood. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. They'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. After the interception, here's Taylor. Through the right side, Wilson. Only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. This a 2nd and 8. Off the play fake, here's Taylor. He finds Wilson. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That's good. And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Let's go. Now Taylor. Who got in there to take him down.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
Y'all can't talk about basic. Anybody more power?
So 1st down went the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. First carry for the Iowa State man, Brees Hall. And he dropped it about the 11 after only a yard. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
As he throws there, incomplete.
The Fisher already in the 1st quarter, already sacked him once. How to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. The Folks kick is good. And that will make it 6-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their 1st turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing the coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. So now, Charles, this drive, maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he stopped immediately there. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Defense on after the run. Worked out well. And he will have the Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Steelers 1st down. 1st and 10 on the 46-yard line.
And that's how you shake off the interception you throw in the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Touchdown, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Now Rodgers. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for a sack. Will McDonald able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. And on that protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep them away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Needed 13, they got 14 on third down. So we turn to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get over in key situations.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9. At the Jets, 42 yards.
The tight end in motion right. Now one straight ahead with Wheeler. Well, they take it down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. 6-0 our score after one. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. And the Steelers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing is Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Will McDonald able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starting in the NBA going forward. It's really a difficult task.
Another go-around now for the Jets offense. Their 2 drives thus far, both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
Throwing for the other round, he finds Wilson. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
First down.
Play action, now Taylor. Going right back to Wilson. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Another catch for him there. The number is starting to stack up a bit. He's closing in already on a 100-yard game. We're still in the first half. To throw again is Taylor. And that's complete to Mitchell. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. Taylor incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Ball want to give up the middle. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive. Here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Here's Taylor to throw. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 players. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They go play action now. Taylor. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's a hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his head kept it exactly that.
From the gun, it's Taylor. He finds his man complete. It's Mitchell. yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
5 yards on the play.
Now it's Taylor. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And it takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll be in search of their initial points in the contest, trailing 9-0 as they begin with a first down. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
2-yard line.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Roy will try to right side. He still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To throw, it's Rodgers. And the Jets pressure 2 notches, down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. But Charles, this offense just can't seem to get off the ground.
But the quarterback, he has to keep picking himself off the ground because this pass rush, they've been on him so far in a big way. 3 sacks here in the first half. He might tell his offensive line, quit helping me up and just block the guys in front of you.
Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Taylor will throw. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. So the kick from here, a field goal would have been right at 53 yards. But instead, it's out there. They're going for it. And they will give it to the 43. Good enough for a first down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Ball again. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall as the first half is winding down. And the Jets will extend their lead here just before halftime.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. this out past the 20 to the 24. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they're going to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting more pressure on that defense. They're cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 downs and expect to get that done.
Well, they're able to swarm it behind the line, and his rough night continues.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Looking outside, he's got a man. That's right. And he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it, as he gets wiped out on that one. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Pass to his running back, Gainwell. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of first at the 32. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a fourth down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Here's Williams to return. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Jets will take over first and 10. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Looking to put a drive together. Here's Taylor. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up second down. Now Taylor to throw. It's caught downfield by Mitchell. Down the right sideline. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. John Mechie, 62 yards. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Connects on the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And they'll get him down inside the 30th to 27. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they're going to Rodgers wants the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And Spencer to the house. It's a final recovery for a Jet touchdown.
And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Yeah, Folk for the extra point. And the lead is now even 30. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. That's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So they're and it's how they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works. Oh man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's what they
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
To the right side and intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
On for the extra point, Folk. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard. I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. And Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Third down. 14.
Now Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. He's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
And the Steelers.
Play action. Rodgers. He'll be taken down. The Jets get him there for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never brought the play action fake.
Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
There's some concern out there right now as we got an injury stoppage. It's DK Metcalf who's getting some help following that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
To throw is Rodgers. Pressure comes and down he goes. Jermaine Johnson, his 2nd sack of the night. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. On the return is Williams. Called that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return.
And the Jets will take over.
The Jets offense and Tyrod Taylor set to take over once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, 70 yards. And the Jets get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago. Trust me.
Extra point been good by Fulton. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Fulton now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise, they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper to the offensive playbook. The bottom line is, don't quit competing. And they've just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks. And now here's a tackle behind the line.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Brandon Stevens.
That's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. And when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
But once again, here comes Garrett Wilson in the Jets offense. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that, man.
And as we analyze how he's getting him, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, and he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
To the sideline and incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for second and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it third and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
A 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And then we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Will try and do this himself. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
It's a gain of 10.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Straight ahead is Hall. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 77 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the fourth quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest.
And this time will be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Steelers will take over here at the 14-yard line. And I get a fourth quarter pick. There was something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it now. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Looking to put a drive together. Let's start on the ground here on first down. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
13 yards on the play. That's good for a Steelers first down.
On play action. Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there. And he's sending it down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Rodgers going to throw. Good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. Deflects it off. Now look out, Rodgers. What's the football? And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Now this offense and Garrett Wilson headed back out, and he is just one reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up, open a field occasionally. If not, we're fooling quarterbacks that maybe don't read the coverage correctly. Right now, they're in pretty good sync.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans around ground not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. The Jets on third down have converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Wilson's got it complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll run with Hall. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 9-yard line.
Let's go. 70, Timberwolves.
One more time with Hall. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
A 6-yard gain brings up 3rd and goal.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Hall. No chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Brand, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game to look better on that play. And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3.
Craft all 80.
They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.